City Series cigars and Citrus 7s, black cement 3s, 4s, the hairs and bread 11s. No doubt that I'll be wearing some fire at any sighting. With these Doran Becker 5s, you can see me in any lighting. It's exciting, I'll be flexing to the coldest degree.
What's up, everybody? It's Sneakerhead M Checks. I got the Lucky Green Jordan 5 scheduled to release Wednesday, February 28th. So as usual, we're going to take a close detailed look at the shoe from all angles. I'm going to put these on and step around them so y'all can see they look on feet. After that, I'm going to share my opinion on the shoe, and then I'll talk about release predictions, reselling predictions, and all that stuff. So let's get right to it. Now right out the back, I want to show y'all the other shoe because you can see right away how inconsistent the leather is. See on this right shoe, it's real wrinkly in the toe box, but then on the left shoe, as we just saw, it's a lot more smooth. And obviously it's going to vary pair to pair. Y'all know how that goes. If you look over here under the laces, that netting is actually white instead of clear or translucent. Then we got a blue tint on the lace locks, and the lace locks themselves are green with I'm trying to show you. You see the leg, the black Jumpman. They got these protective things right here over the tongue, just so that the lace lock doesn't, rub up against the tongue and ruin it. But if we take those off, you see they got this really dark gray 3M tongue. This is how it looks in the light. Green Jumpman. So you got the whited out netting over here on the side as well. And I'm curious what people think about this. So do me a favor and leave me a comment how you feel about that in comparison to the translucent netting. Got the 23 on the side. That green looks good. You know, these are really just like a green version of the Fire Red 5s. Which is not a bad thing. Love the Fire Red 5s. You know, obviously not completely, like there's little differences like this and the tongue and stuff, but for the most part, these are green Fire Red 5s. Here are the back shots. Here's the back side of the tongue. Interior is all green. They got a black Jumpman on the insole, which I don't know if y'all can tell from here, but it's a little smaller than usual. Here's the outsole. It's completely green and translucent. I really feel like some black down here would have been nice, but this is valid. He's come in a regular Jordan 5s box. I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't do like a green and black or green and white box to match the shoes, but these got the normal one. White paper on the inside, no splatter on it. Nothing else extra in here. And here's the box label. Women's, so keep in mind this is a women's shoe, so make sure you get your women's size, not your men's size. But yeah, women's Air Jordan 5 Retro, white, lucky green, and black. Here's a quick all-around view of the shoe. Alright, now let's see how they look on feet.
People got nothing to say now. I kill every verse that I lay down. You got a bag and I got a bag, but my shit is beat to your spray ground. I went through some things that caused me to miss a few games, but I'm ready to play now. If you ain't my mans and I am just one of them niggas, you can't bring your bae round. Cause if she look good, it's a takedown. She working, I hit it on break now. Sliding on bitches like playgrounds, but after I'm out, I can't stay around.
I really like this colorway on these. I'm just a little disappointed in how the leather turned out. Like, I'm not surprised at all because there's been plenty of other pairs that are released where the leather was like this. I think it's just harder to accept right now because they just released the 4s, and if you watch my review on those, or if you haven't, you heard me talk about, or you know how amazing the leather quality is on those. So to go from that to this kind of hurts. But you know, not every pair is going to be like this pair that I got, obviously. Some may be better, some may be worse, some may be somewhere around the same. But if you do plan to get them, hopefully the pair that you get has very little to no leather imperfections. I got mixed feelings on the whited out netting that these have. I thought it looked a little strange at first. I don't dislike it necessarily. I'm just so used to it being translucent that this is going to take some getting used to. But I like the whited out netting because I feel like that's not going to yellow the way it does when it's translucent. However, just because it's not translucent doesn't mean it can't turn yellow. And you know, when I think about it, a lot of my 5s, more so my recent ones, most of them don't really have any yellowing on this part. Or, I mean, you know, obviously some of my older ones do, but there's a lot of pairs that I have where like this part may have been starting to yellow on it, but this part is still like completely clear. Now that may have to do with the fact that I be wearing my shoes. So like when I wear them and, you know, dirt and grass and whatever gets down on the bottom, being that it's connected to here, that may cause this part to yellow faster. So maybe that's why. But still, I just feel like for the most part, this part don't be yellowing on 5s like it used to. So maybe the whole like white netting thing wasn't really necessary. I don't know. We'll see. See, sometimes when I look at them, I want this part to be translucent just so that it could match this and this. But it still looks good with the white. I really wish they would have gave these the black spongy tongue like the Fire Red 5s have. The tongue on those just has like the solid black and it's a lot more spongy because it doesn't have the 3M on the top. I feel like that would have been perfect for these. The dark gray is still cool, but they definitely should have did it like that. Now with all that being said, because I feel like I've been saying more negative stuff than positive stuff about these, but with all that being said, I still want them. What I'm going to do is cop another pair or 2 of these after they come out, and hopefully out of like 3 pairs, at least one of them will have no or at least very little leather imperfections. And then I can just return or resell the other 2. And I hate that I have to do that, and I know it's mad extra, but I do want a nice pair. And if Nike wants to be lazy with their quality control, then they can deal with me returning their shoes. That's how I look at it. Anyway, these should be an easy cop when they come out. Your average Jordan 5 and most women's size Jordans usually don't have as much demand. And these happen to be both of those, so I wouldn't expect them to be an instant sellout anywhere. I mean, if anything, maybe in the bigger sizes. The smaller sizes will definitely sit online in the stores and end up being available for under retail in no time. Especially because they're not making GS pairs of these. Now hold on, don't be confused with what I just said. I'm not saying that they don't have these in your size if you wear a GS size. They do. But understand, men and women's shoes are one thing and grade school is another thing. Just how preschool is a different thing, Tyler's a different thing. You know, they're made a little differently. They have different retail prices. Like standard retail for a men's Jordan 5 right now is $210, and same for women Jordan 5. So for GS, retail right now is $160. So if you wear a GS size, you're probably used to paying that $160 or somewhere around that. If you wear a GS size, you'll still be able to get these. Like let's just say you wear a size 6, you'll be able to get these in a women's size 7.5, which is equivalent to a GS 6. So understand you're going to be buying a women's shoe, not a GS shoe. Like it could be the same size, but it's not the GS style. You know what I mean? So since these only come in women and not GS, the retail is going to be $210 instead of $160, no matter what size you are. They're going to be releasing these in women's sizes 5 through 12, which equates to a GS size 3.5 to a men's 10.5. So if you wear any bigger or smaller than that, these will not be coming in your size, unfortunately. If you don't know what your women's shoe size is, it's whatever you wear in men's plus 1.5. So for example, I usually wear a size 9.5. 9.5 plus 1.5 equals 11, so 11 will be my women's size. Now you may know or have heard me say before that Jordan 5s usually run big. So instead of my usual women's size 11, I went with a size 10.5 women, which equates to a men's 9 because that size fits me better for Jordan 5. But yeah, hopefully nobody has any trouble copping these. You know, like I said, if you wear one of the bigger sizes, it may be a little tough at some places, but for the most part, it shouldn't be hard to get. If you wear a smaller size, especially a GS size, you should probably wait, and instead of paying the $210, I'm sure you'll be able to get these for well under $200 in no time. I think they still got the I know they retail for a little bit more. They were $225, but I'm pretty sure my Monnier 5s are still available like in those smaller sizes. Not the dusk pair, the dawn pair. But that just goes to show you like that whole thing I just explained with people who wear GS size used to paying at $160. I think that has a lot to do with why those are still there and why these are going to be sitting everywhere in the smaller sizes. But yeah, hopefully nobody has any trouble copping these. And if you do get them, I'm hoping that your pair doesn't have any bad flaws on the leather or anywhere else. If this video is helpful or informal in any way, I really appreciate if you give it a thumbs up. If you're interested in more early reviews like this or any other sneaker related content, please do us both a favor and subscribe to my channel. Once you've done so, make sure you tap that little bell icon next to the subscribe button and select all. That way when I put a new video out, you'll get notified and you won't miss out on anything. Thank you all for watching. Everybody please stay safe and healthy out there, and I'll see you next time.